All right. So the following night, you get the call from the detective, and he tells you that there's been a third murder. Um, and he gives you the address, and you then this time you're the first person on the scene. Um, and the detective's there, and he directs you to this long abandoned apartment building that's a little bit away from the town proper. Um, oh, actually, he's not there, but he does direct you towards the address of this long abandoned apartment, a little bit away from the town, and he asks that you contact him with instructions when you're done. Um, what he's basically expecting you to do is you either tell him to clean it up, call it in, or not do anything. Um,
Okay.
and on
Show me the body.
yeah, on the third floor of this apartment, there's there's like obvious evidence of a squatter. Like someone's been living here for quite some time, and there's like some very rudimentary furniture, some bedding, drug paraphernalia, and in one of the rooms lies the corpse of a homeless vagrant that's been similarly uh, beat up, just like the earlier victims, but visibly less so. Like there isn't any signs of a fight or bruising. It looks like he was just snuck up on and clubbed over the head um, before being killed. And this is actually a woman. Um, Actually, make a composure and investigation check for me.
Boy, howdy.
Okay. All right. But yeah, so it seems like um, there was there's significantly less slashing than on the previous victims. Um, this one, she wasn't drained of blood. She's just lying in a big pool of it. Um, and it seems like there's like the murderer made a few slashes and then suddenly stopped.
Like they were walked in on.
Possibly.
Are there any, like, footprints? If she's lying in her own blood, would there be, like, bloody footprints at all? Any trail that she could follow?
Um, Make a wits and awareness check for me. So wits and awareness.
Oh, she's good at awareness.
All right. So that is not only a crit on the hunger dice, but that's also a crit on the skill check. All right, so yeah, I'm gonna give you a few things that you find
Okay.
as you start looking around. Your kind of heightened vampire senses kind of pick up on a trail, and then also kind of looking through it through this woman's very modest belongings. Um, like you find some letters kind of hidden away in her things, um, some unsent letters where the writer, you assume this person that's been murdered, is basically begging her family to take her back. Um, and then investigating the rest of the house, it's largely empty, but you do find a second squatting place behind some loose boards, and this looks more temporary than the spot where you found the woman. There's a decent sleeping bag, a stove, and even a few like MREs, like the military food, the
Mm-hmm.
lunches. Um, and then you find a small box with two locks of hair, and the room isn't sunproofed, but there's tape remnants that suggest that it was probably taken down in a hurry.
Um, so she's gonna take the box with two locks of hair.
Mm-hmm.
Does the hair look familiar?
Yes. Um,
Does it look like the hair off of what's their names' heads?
Simon and Carl.
Carl and Simon.
Yes.
Okay. She's gonna follow that trail.
Okay.
So she's gonna, finish her investigation in there, and then she's gonna follow the trail.
Okay. Um, oh, following the trail actually leads you to that second spot.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Um, and then you find the track kind of leading out of the
Mm-hmm.
apartment, kind of in the um. But yeah, you find the track that leads out of the apartment. Um, is there anything else you want to do before you follow that trail?
She's gonna call the detective
Okay.
and explain what she's found.
Okay.
Um, that it needs to be cleaned up, and that their vampiric menace doesn't have a permanent residence.
Okay.
And she's also gonna ask if it's any if it's any possibility that she could get some backup.
And the the detective answers you would probably have to ask Madam Stokes about that. If I if I call in police, they're gonna wonder who you are.
Yeah, you're right. And so she's gonna kind of reiterate that it needs to be cleaned up.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Probably not reported. Um, but and she's gonna hang up and then call Sam.
Okay. And
Kind of give her the TLDR of what's going on, what she's
okay.
doing, the lead that she's on, and then that she needs some help tracking this vampire down.
Okay. And as you're about to make that call, you hear something downstairs. It sounds like a group of footsteps.
Oh, she's hiding.
All right. Um.
She's probably going to move down the hall
Mm-hmm.
into maybe another apartment
Okay.
and just wait to see who it is.
All right.
And if it's the cops, then she's booking it.
All right.
She's gone.
Okay. Make a dexterity and stealth check for me. All right.
My crit
Oh my
fails.
gosh. Well, it was like, let's see. Well, it was a fail, but you still got two successes. And then yeah, you still got two successes out of both of those. So you're good. You're good, fam.
Okay.
Yeah, you're good.
Sobs. How many crit fails have I rolled today?
A lot. But yeah, I'm gonna say you you find a safe place to hide, and walking past that apartment that you hide in, you can hear maybe like four voices talking, um, and from the sounds of it, it looks like just a posse of just people wanting to take revenge on this murderer. Like they somehow heard about it, and they decided to take justice in their own hands. And as they walk past, you see some of them have. Oh, it's like four people. Uh, One of them has a shotgun. The other three have like baseball bats, golf clubs. Um, and you see one of them looks like he has this like unlit uh, Molotov cocktail, and you they seem to kind of like search around for a little bit, but from the sounds of it, they're convinced that the murderer is still here. And then they find the body. What do you want to
So
do?
while they're looking over the body,
Mm-hmm.
um, she's gonna sneak out
Okay.
because they're distracted.
All right. Make another dexterity and stealth check for me.
Time to fail.
All right, two successes. Um. All right. So yeah. So you gonna say you managed to make it out. And you slip out into the night. Um,
But yeah, once she gets a safe distance away, um, she's gonna call Sam
mm-hmm,
and explain, the updated situation now.
mm-hmm.
Did these guys, this posse, were they human?
They were human.
Okay. And then did she overhear anything when they were walking around?
Um, Nothing that would suggest that these people thought that the murderer was a vampire or supernatural.
Mm-hmm.
They just think the murderer is just like a regular human that's just a terrible, terrible person.
Okay. So yeah, she's gonna call Madam Stokes and explain the situation on the three murders that she's like the information that she's got on the three bodies.
Mm-hmm.
Um that there's a group of humans that are now investigating the murder scene of the third murder, that she was able to get out um without raising alarm,
Okay.
and
Yeah,
she
Sam is listening as you tell her all of this.
and then she's gonna say, I have a trail to follow, and I need some help.
Before you follow that trail, there's there's one more thing that I need you to take care of that's sprung up. The word of this third murder is already spread around town, and they're and the community has already pinned the murder on a Harry Lloyd, from what I've been told.
Is he kindred?
No, he's mortal. And
Where is this Harry now?
I can give you the address.
Because I
Uh,
don't think that he did it.
well, the the detective already informed me about them pinning the murder, wanting to pin the murder on him. He seems to think it would be advantageous. Um, he would like Harry not to survive his encounter with the crowd, and I am of the same opinion.
What did this guy do?
Hmm.
He must be some sack of shit that you want to have him be killed by a crowd.
Hmm. I don't really know the details. Apparently, he did something years ago. He has a reputation. And if he doesn't survive, then it will be easier for us to wrap this up later.
Katya's gonna do a big think about that,
Mm-hmm.
and she's just gonna, be quiet for a moment, and she's gonna say, "Do you know if he's safe right now?"
I don't.
Well, I better go talk to him then before he gets killed.
Feel free to do that, but his death is not optional. And then she hangs up.
And Katya's gonna go.
All right. Um, so let's see. But yeah, you can you find um, Harry Lloyd's address in the neighborhood very easily because there are several dozen people outside of his house. Um, it's just like it's just an angry mob that's hyping themselves up to storm the place. How would you like to do this?
See.
There's a few different things that you could do. Unfortunately, because Katya's by herself and not in a group, um, this may be difficult.
So what are my options here?
Um, so the things that the scenario suggests is you can you can try to um, you can try to get Harry killed, whether it's just like waiting for the crowd to storm in, um, and then finish the finish the job with Harry. You can try to rile up the crowd to make them kill him for you. Um, you could maybe talk the crowd into leaving, or you can sneak into the house and get Harry out, or you could probably convince him to show himself and then shoot him. That's just a few of the suggestions that the scenario has.
Um, she's probably going to try and talk to the crowd first.
Okay. All right.
And she's not going to be the detective here.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'm assuming that she's just in like civilian clothes.
Yeah.
And so I'm assuming there's like a tree stump or a car or something
Mm-hmm.
that she can stand up on to get everybody's attention.
Mm-hmm.
And she's going to look at the crowd and she's going to know her strength
Mm-hmm.
and she's going to know she's intimidating. And she's going to say, "Do we want a monster like this in our community?" Gesturing at the house.
Yeah, and the crowd yells back, "No!" Just in unison, agreeing with you. Like,
Mm-hmm.
no, they don't.
"Do we want to lose our children to this monster?"
And in unison, they yell, "No!"
And she's going to look at the crowd and she's going to say, "Everyone who has children to return to, go be with them now. I will take care of it.
Mm.
Keep your own families safe."
Is Katya trying to be like intimidating? Like, is she
Yes.
showing off how tough she is? Okay. Um, let's do a manipulation and intimidation.
I'm good at intimidation.
Oh, hi, Josie. You kidding? Hi.
Oh, is she on your lap?
Um, nope, she's right next to the chair. She looks like she wants to get on my lap, though.
I rolled a crit, Thomas.
All right. Oh,
And
yep.
you know the scene in what is it? Gladiator where he's like, "Are you not entertained?"
Oh yeah.
She's like got that pose.
Mm-hmm.
So, you can see her muscles.
Mm-hmm.
Um I forget what the fashion is in the 80s, but she's probably wearing like shorts so you can see that she's absolutely jacked.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. So you're.
She's probably in like athletic clothes at this
Oh
point.
yeah. Yeah. So it's like the crowd kind of settles down for a moment, and they get a good look at you, and um, they kind of they start to kind of come to their senses, like this isn't justice, this is just an angry mob. And you see, it's the kind of call to action to let you take care of it kind of makes them think for a moment, and then they're like, wait, what are we doing here, you know and so the crowd starts to kind of um, slowly fall apart as people start going back to their homes. Um, and then there's a few stragglers, but eventually they start going back.
And once she's alone,
Mm-hmm.
she's going to do what she promised.
Mm-hmm.
And she's just going to kick in the door
Okay.
because there's no point in trying to be sneaky.
Yeah.
She's going to kick in the door
Mm-hmm.
and she's just going to say, "I know you're here. I have some questions."
Okay. Um, yeah, and Harry eventually shows himself. He's looks like he's this older guy, and he raises his hands up and he says, "Please don't hurt me. I didn't do anything."
I know you didn't.
"What do you want from me?"
Information. Why does everyone want you dead? What did you do? Sorry.
Sorry, just checking something really quick. All right, yeah, and yeah, Harry is just terrified, and he says, "Just I I didn't do anything. All right. A few decades ago, I stalked an actress. Maybe had a few too many drinks, but I didn't do anything to her. I didn't kill her. I the, the judge didn't find me guilty of murder. I did my time. I just want to be left alone."
And she's going to remember what Sam told her,
Mhm.
how this guy has to die tonight.
Mhm.
And how tall is this guy? Like, is he like 6 foot?
I'd say around 6 foot. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm assuming he has a couch inside of his house.
Yeah.
Um, she's gonna take a seat
Mhm.
and she's gonna invite him to come sit with her.
He is absolutely terrified, but he sits down.
And she puts her hand on his shoulder and she says, I don't think you killed her either. And I don't think you killed those people in town.
And he nods.
It's tough to come back from something like that.
And he nods again.
And, God, I want to be stupid about this. Um, she's going to, smile a little bit and kind of chuckle to herself. And she's going to say, "You want to know a secret?"
Oh, what?
She's going to say, "Come here. Come closer."
Okay. And he very hesitantly, kind of leans in.
And she's going to take a chomp.
Oh, she takes a jump. All right.
And she's going to drain him dry.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, so you just drain him dry. And, let's see. All right. Yeah, you drain him dry. You don't have any hunger right now. Your hunger's
Boy,
all gone.
boy, howdy. Where's. Okay.
Yeah, I already took it off for you.
Okay, thank you.
And then when you're done with him, he's just a limp, lifeless body.
And she's going to wipe her face with a handkerchief,
Mm-hmm.
shove the handkerchief in her pocket, and she's
Mm-hmm.
going to take a look around the house.
All right. Okay. So taking a look around the house.
Oh, and she's also going to pose the body so it looks like he killed himself.
Okay.
Probably leave a little bit of blood in there.
Mm-hmm.
Um, enough to kill him, but enough to make it look like he cut his wrists,
Oh
maybe,
yeah. Okay.
and then toss him into the bathtub.
Okay.
And then obviously cover up her little
Oh.
thing.
All right. Josie is not in a
Cover up
good
her
mood.
cover up her fang marks.
All right. Okay. Yeah. And but yeah. So you do all that. And then just looking around his house. You don't really find anything incriminating. Um, Seems like he just mostly kept to himself. Probably didn't have a lot of friends. Um, you do find uh, a box of old sci-fi movie paraphernalia, like posters and stuff. Um, and it's like movies starring this um, like young actress from 3 decades ago. So his story does hold true.
Yeah.
It's like in a box, kind of shoved in the back of a closet somewhere. It's just stuff he didn't want to look at, but he couldn't bring himself to get rid of it.
Mhm.
And other than that, there isn't really anything substantial. Um, like you find his wallet, find some money, stuff like that.
She takes his money.
Okay. All right. And then what would you like to do?
She's gonna call Madam Stokes and
Mm-hmm.
let her know that the deed has been done
All right.
and that none of her constituents in the town need to be on trial for murder.
And she says, good. That's good. No. Well, I'm sure the detective will be back in touch with you if he needs anything else.
Now, about that trail I found earlier.
Hmm. Well,
Do you want the real murderer caught or not?
I was going to say you've already taken care of the scapegoat. I think everything else will take care of itself.
And what if our little
Hmm.
friend keeps killing? They seem to eat
Hmm.
every 2 days. Who's to say there's not going to be another
Hmm.
body in the morning? Who's going to be your scapegoat then?
You're right. Well, well, I will leave it up to your discretion.
And Katya kind of sighs into the phone, like she's so fucking tired of this. Um, and she's just gonna say, "Understood," and then she's gonna hang up
Mm-hmm.
and follow that trail that she'd found earlier.
Okay. All right. Um, Give me just 1 second. Um, yeah, going back to the abandoned apartment building. Um, it looks like the police are there now. You see a few police cruisers up front. You can see lights. The lights of flashlights, kind of searching the place.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you could maybe try to find where you left off on that trail, but the police are probably going to make it a little bit difficult because they can't sense things as well as you can.
Mm-hmm.
So it's possible that trail has already been tainted.
Yeah.
But on the bright side, even as you head over to the abandoned apartment place, there is kind of a period of calm that follows. Um, and well, there's a period of calm that follows when they find Harry Lloyd's body, and um, for a night or two, there's just like a relative peace as the world kind of starts kind of moving on from the murders and some sense of closure has been given. Um, on that third night, though,
Son
you,
of a bitch.
you get actually, let's hold that thought because I need to use the bathroom again.
Estoy pooping. Welcome back.
Oh boy, howdy.
I missed you.
Oh, I missed you too. All right, so um, on that third night, you get a call from the detective, and he says a fourth victim has been found. And this time, there's no way to keep it secret. Um,
Who
during
was it this time?
during the day, a janitor stumbled upon the corpse of a Mike Clark, a male model and sex worker, in a suite at a nearby hotel. It's not your hotel, fortunately. Um, but this time the murder scene's much more elaborate, and the police are all over it. And I don't have access.
Must be serious if even you don't have access, big guy.
Yeah. So I haven't seen what the damage is. So you'll have to find a way in on your own.
Understood.
And
And
he gives
I'm
you
assuming
the
I'm
yeah, he
assuming
gives you
he
the
gives me
address
the
to the
address.
hotel.
Yeah.
How do you want to get in?
Well, she really doesn't want to get into a tussle with the cops.
Mm-hmm.
So she's probably gonna call up uh Madam Stokes
Okay.
and explain the situation.
Mm-hmm.
Because Madam Stokes, that's like the sheriff of the area,
Yeah,
right?
this is sheriff. She has connections.
See if she can get her in.
Okay. But yeah, so you ask Madam Stokes for help, and in less than an hour, you have permission to investigate the scene of the